What the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. Harry Houdini. Good evening. Welcome to this early night edition of On Topic, and I figured I'd do a little bit of mixing, at least tell people about the Australian fires and just kind of maybe who to listen to, talk to about it, where to ask the right questions. And then a little bit of Globe Earth, Flat Earth, International Space Station stuff, NASA of all things, I'm here just to help you find the right questions and to actually ask the questions. Again, a great quote from Richard Feynman. If you don't know who he is, maybe you should look him up. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. All right, so a bit of cool news before I get with my standard intro. This Friday at noon my time, or 1 p.m. Eastern time, I have an interview with the State of Anarchy. So I think it's Sunny, or maybe it's Carmen, or maybe both, I don't know, but anyways, they'll be on and I'll be doing a live stream and we'll get to have a fun talk, which I don't get to have as much anymore, even though anyone can come on my show at any time I'm doing my live stream. But still, people are busy, I know, and sometimes people don't want to talk about certain topics. So anyways, I'll get to my intro and then I'll get to saying hello to a lot of people. All right, so I work with full disclosure and transparency, and I don't have a job. I spend most of my time doing research, trying to create a couple of things, and spend time with my kids. Now, if you do like some of the content that I have, you can help support me. I receive $0 via cryptocurrency since I've had it up over 19 months. I like people to donate there. Bitcoin and Vertcoin. Vertcoin is my cryptocurrency of choice. You can always see any transactions of whatever is getting sent to that address and what's leaving that address. And so far, the only transactions I still have are the money I took out of Patreon to give to Susie Dawson when she needed it to her address. I haven't gotten anything since, and nothing for Vertcoin donations. But I've gotten a lot of donations via Google Super Chat and PayPal.me, which I got, I wouldn't say a lot, a good amount I'm happy with. From PayPal.me, since I set up September 22nd of 2019, and the first video of the month, and 2 nights ago, was my first video of the month, which I said thank yous and showed people basically how much I made for the previous month and all months total. Now, actually, I didn't really do that with Google Super Chat. I noticed I should have scrolled down. Anyways, if you don't have any money to donate, that's fine. Maybe you can help prove the Earth is a globe and get $15,000 from Zen Garcia, and maybe give me a 10% finder's fee. Interesting news. Oh, my picture wasn't there. Interesting news. The person who sued Zen Garcia to get the $15,000 by proving globe Earth, which he couldn't do in court. He tried to sue Zen again, doing appeals, and hired a lawyer, and the lawyer said, yeah, no. So the person who is suing Zen Garcia to get the $15,000 from Zen stopped suing him. So you're not going to see that again until maybe you step up to the plate and help prove globe Earth and get a nice hefty $15,000. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Maybe $1,500 for me would go a long way. So come on, people. All right, join the Flat Earth People Finder at zoomtruth.com. Get involved, and I'm going to spend time doing that tonight after this live stream. Usually I provide links, but I don't have it here. And interesting, I don't have my Zoom link in there, but let me go ahead and put it in there. Let's see, I don't know why it didn't hold through. Who knows? Sometimes YouTube just does funny stuff. Anyways, it is now updated. You should be able to see it in a few minutes. Here it is. Yep. That link, it'll install a Zoom meeting. You can do it on your smartphone. You can do it on your computer. You can just call in. It's all toll free. So feel free to join in. And just saying hi to a couple people. It looks like Hero Campus at Earth is Flat. What is this? Well, and let's see, Treeland Truth. Those are DEW. DEW stands for Direct Energy Weapon Fires. I took screenshots, and it's identical to California fires where the trees are unharmed around vaporized homes. Well, whether it is or it's not, let's just say it's not. There's still a fault of the Australian government for not stopping it, and also, you know, who owns the direct energy weapon? Some corporation, some government. Well, it's somebody probably part of the establishment, whatever. Let's just say it is. And why do they just start fires? What's in it for them? What do they get out of it? Who is it? You would, if you're just somebody out there just taking pictures and figuring out where it is, where it's coming from, well, I'm pretty sure the governments know who it is, and if the governments know who it is and they aren't stopping them or letting people know, well, you know, it's still the government's fault, huh? So it just seems to be, no matter what, it's the establishment, governing bodies, the corporations, whatever. People seem to be in charge at the system that we call Earth. Anyways, let's move on from that. And so the topic is, well, you won't see photographs of the Australian fires from the International Space Station. Now, if you want to, I've been kind of getting most of my knowledge of what's going on in Australia fires from the Crow House, Max Egan. Been watching him and a couple of stuff. At least he was truthful about why he doesn't research flat Earth, because once you do, people, well, it just kind of creates a divide. He just chose not to. That's fine. At least he says that openly. But, you know, he goes, talks about Australia, the fires, kind of his depiction of it, and backs it up with some actual news snippets from mainstream media and some alternative media, which is a good mix. And same thing, like, hey, let's for me, it's always getting the official narrative and breaking down the official narrative. For example, if you want to break down, oh, well, Ebon, this is why the ISS doesn't have photographs from whatever, and I'm going to go ahead and break it down. I mean, you don't know why, because they didn't tell you. Otherwise, you would know. I would know. It should be easily searchable. Anyways, how big is Australian wildfires? They're pretty big. Here, this viral image isn't the full story from Big Think. So this picture is an image. It's not a photograph. Heck, even Snopes, the mainstream media, says it's not. It's composite images from multiple data inputs are often mistaken for literal photographs. This is just published yesterday by David Mickelson on Snopes, which I don't like Snopes. But if you look around, like ISS photographers, are there photographers? Are there photographs? Are there any camera equipment on the ISS? Well, you see this photo with Don Pettit, and literally a lot of cameras on there. And I've seen similar photography equipment with Christina Cook. And if you don't know who Christina Cook is, she's also an astronaut. And if you do a quick search on her, and I did do a lot of searching on her, is let's see, where did I find it? Oh yeah, Christina Cook photography. I just do a Google search, and one of her tweets that she had, and of course it's not no direct link to it, even though I wanted to find it. I probably could. Her latest tweets from Christina H. Cook at Astro_Christina. For me, it's mostly photography, spending time with my crew, reading and watching sports. So she's definitely into photography, and you can easily find her photos by going to Instagram, and you can watch her Instagram feeds. I mean, she's watching sports on the ISS. She probably knows what's going on with the fires, yet there's not one photograph from the ISS of the Australian fires. You would think that would be something pretty cool to see and show people, because people don't get a good glimpse of, you know, what's going on Earth from space. So yeah, you're not going to see any photographs, even though there's plenty of cameras on there. You would think that there'd be also tons more photographs from the International Space Station, but there really isn't. I mean, you should just look at Baltimore Inner Harbor, and then you're probably going, well, Ebon, they're just not flying over Australia. Well, they are going to be flying over Australia. I mean, if we go over here, view sighting opportunities. Now, this is spotthestation.nasa.gov. So this is not some internet site by some try-hard astronaut, whatever, or astrology or astronomer, whatever. This is actually the government here, nasa.gov. And it goes, hey, look, sighting locations. You can see the ISS. And it's today, January 7th. It's at 9:11 p.m. I think that's my time, anyways, CST. So in about 15 minutes, they're going to be able to. It's going to fly over Australia. But are we going to find any photographs of Australia? Well, time will tell. But so if you're saying, well, Ebon, well, they're not flying over Australia, so they can't take photographs of Australia. Well, no, they can, because we're looking at Australia where. If they're able to see International Space Station from Australia International Space Station will be able to is flying over. That's what it means. I mean, if you don't think that, I'm sorry. And there's multiple opportunities, even not just today, but tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. So they definitely have a viewing chance to take the pictures, but are we gonna see it? It's not like I'm a prophet or whatever you want to call it. Person who tells the future. It's just I just got a good hunch, right? Now you're going, well, they can still, you know, you can still see like Earth views from the space station. And we'll see Australia here in the burning fires. Well, we're not. This is live, and this streaming started December 12th, 2019, and sometimes the feed goes off. We won't necessarily know where they're flying over. They don't really say anything or comment on it. Where they're flying over, it would be nice. Sometimes you just have to make it out for yourself. And then if you say, well, it's too bright, you won't be able to see the fires if they are flying over Australia, and they should be probably filming near Australia right now, right? I mean, they're getting close to it from the station. I mean, that should be a pretty good indicator of where that could be if you know your geography, or your globe Earth geography. But yeah, you could say, well, it's too bright, you're not going to see any of the fires. But let's see, at 9:11 p.m. yeah, it's not going to be bright out. So that can't be an excuse. Or you could say, yeah, there's just too much smoke and whatnot. Well, the thing is, if you watch the Grow House video, and he posts news snippets of where they have news of where they've got the fires being seen all the way over in, was it New Zealand or something? So like that. It was I wish I could find it. Maybe I'll just do another Google. And I need to stop that here. Australian fire smoke seen in... Oh, South America. Yeah, that's right. So they're able to see the smoke. At least that's what they're telling you with their news. That they're able to see the Australia fires from South America. So, hey, at least we should be able to see the smoke from the NASA's live stream feed. No, we're not going to even see the smoke, unfortunately. And let's see, what is NASA going ahead and showing us live? Well, they're showing more talking, which is usually what they do. They just talk up on there. Oh, looks like they did show a couple stuff. Here, just a lot of clouds, no smoky areas. Obviously, they're probably not flying over Australia. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll keep it going and see if we'll find Australia being live streamed. Let's see in this one, SpaceX, and they got the Earth in the background, but we see some fires, Australian fires. I don't think so. And I think some people have probably just thought, yeah, I'd like to see the Australian fires, so let's look. It should be there. We should be able to see the fires. I mean, the fires can go all the way from Australia to South America. You know how far that is? I mean, that's pretty much that's if you're a glober, it's gonna be halfway around the world, pretty much. So at the rate that this thing goes, you should be able to see it. I mean, you don't. Anyways, let's go live here and maybe we'll see something. And then, of course, another NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Yeah, they're just going to show you the laboratory. They're not going to show you anything. So let's go ahead and end that one here. That's it. I mean, if people want to come and talk, you may. The information is in the description box. And, of course, let's see. Looking at the chat, Chris Creek, no such thing as the ISS, just balloons on tethers with cameras. Probably how they do it. B-ball for life. Oh God, unbleached. Hi Bon. Hi, unbleached. How you doing? How's Massachusetts been? Haven't been there in over a year now. Anyways, that's it. We could keep looking. Let's see. ISS photographs. More Christina Cook stuff. Let's see. Fires from space. Yeah, how about that? Australia fires from space. Satellite images. Yeah, we get the satellite images, but of course images are, of course they keep saying, composites of data that makes into image. I'm saying we're not going to get photographs from the International Space Station, and they do take photographs in the International Space Station and outside of the International Space Station, as shown from even Christina Cook's Instagram, Flickr, and Twitter. So yeah, they can take pictures, but you're not going to see pictures of the Australian fires. Do I miss Massachusetts? Yeah, I miss Massachusetts. I like a lot of, almost, I'd say every state I lived in I like. Texas, I don't know if I ever want to go back to Texas. For me, it feels like Tatooine, from Star Wars. It's like nobody really liked Tatooine. Anytime anyone went to Tatooine, nothing good ever happened there. So that's Texas. Seattle, or like Washington State. I like Washington State, Massachusetts. That's where I lived majoritively, Washington State and Massachusetts. So I like them. B-ball for life. How does the sun illuminate the moon at night, but not the surface of the earth? Good questions to ask yourself, B-ball for life. Let's see. Now, it would be interesting. It'd be great if, like, all of a sudden, they somehow noticed my video with 6 concurrent viewers. I don't think they're gonna notice, but yeah, it's not like anyone's probably saying, "Hey, can you take pictures of?" You know what? That's what I should do. I should tweet at Christina Cook. How about that? No. How did that work? Oh, I've been to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is beautiful. But right now, Australia. Another beautiful country. Australia is on fire. Could you take some pictures of the fires from the ISS? Seems like you're orbiting over Australia in just a few tonight and the next 3 days. That's well said, right? Now, that would be awesome if we would get some pictures, but I don't think it works that way. But still, we'll just wait and see. Anyways, that's kind of it. It's just kind of throwing that out there for people. If you find a photograph, not composite image, from satellites, if you find a photograph of the Australian fires from the International Space Station or a live stream portion of NASA's live feed from the International Space Station, please save it, timestamp it, send it to me, put it in the comments. I think my email is in the description box too, so you can email it to me. Yeah, just let me know, or put it on Twitter. Just tweet to me and say, hey, look, Australian fire picture from the International Space Station. And then we're gonna have to go over and re talk about this. I mean, yeah, they could, if the ISS is just basically a balloon. They could still at least take pictures of it from there, right? The Australian fires. But I mean, isn't that something that people want to see? I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this image or this video live stream of Earth with a whole bunch of clouds and water, for years already. But when we want to see actually something that's occurring on Earth, like a big event that's actually happening on Earth, like say big volcano erupting, or a whole continent or country on fire, you would think that's something that people would want to see, and that NASA would probably try their best to cover it. But that doesn't happen. Oh man. Okay, so it's 26 minutes 40 seconds long. I'll probably end it in about 3.5 minutes, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think we'll see photographs of the Australian fires from the International Space Station? Did we even get photographs of the California fires from the International Space Station? You know, that's another good question, because California fires are big. Photograph California fires, International Space Station. Well, from station. Ah, so they do have some of that there. Now let's how about live stream? We'll have to go over videos and nope. That's television. Oh man, January 10th, is that what year? Okay, well that's great. That doesn't help with anything. Satellite pictures. Composites or pictures? Damn it. And I wonder how long it takes for them to get these. And why just pictures? Can they do like grab their phone and just record it? Anyways, that's the thing. We may get photographs. We won't know if it's from the International Space Station. They could say it is, but we definitely won't get video from the International Space Station. But yeah, even if we do get photos, it's few and far between. It'd be nice to get a lot more. That's not that good of one. But at least we can see let's look at more pictures. As seen from orbit. That is a very weird looking shaped. Maybe it isn't oploid. Oh boy. I mean, come on, that looks a little uneven there. I mean, that seems high up, but not like International Space Station high up. Unless, of course, you could say they're zoomed. It doesn't look that like that much. You would think it would look a lot bigger, especially the depiction of the California fires when it was going on. Like those types of pictures. Man. I mean, that's still, I'd say, distance away. Fires from plane. So a plane is gonna be. Oh man, that's not very good. Who cares what these pictures? Yeah, fine. We've seen it once. We want to see pictures from the sky. Let's see. Nothing. Really, I guess nobody has good pictures to take from the sky. That's not bad. Oh, that's great. The only aerial photos we can take are from drones, and they'll be banned. That's fun. Let's see. Aerial. How about aerial? Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, satellite images again. Aerial footage. Not bad. Oof. How about aerial photos? Wow, that's pretty bad. Oh, those are satellite images. Let's look at the aerial photos. They don't really have them. Ah, there's some here. Damn. It's kind of just the same thing. Oh, wow. That's a big one. And so, let's see. A typical flight is like 40,000. Space station didn't they say it's like 160? So it's 4 times higher. So imagine 4 times higher than that. Ooh. See, like, I don't look. I don't even think we get aerial videos of these big fires. Ah, here we go. We don't get them that often. And it's kind of low. What's depressing is so much life in Australia, wildlife, and can you imagine how much death it's causing just for the wildlife? I know there's like at least 2,000 homes that were burnt and 25 people died. That's bad enough, but then just man, let's see. Let's go for more. It's the 30th. Oh, that's pretty good height. The rural service can actually take videos from up high. Yeah. Obviously, it can't be like another excuse can't be, well, the International Space Station is too high to take good video or photographs. But if what they say is true with the California fires seen from Station NASA, well, then that's not true at all. You can definitely see fires from that distance. So, you know, will be interesting to see what happens. What kinds of photos we get for the Australia fires from the space station, as well as what kind of videos that we might see from the International Space Station of the Australian fires. So 3 minutes now. In 3 minutes, the International Space Station will be above Coonabarabran, New South Wales. Yep. And it'll be visible for 4 minutes. So from 9:11 to 9:15. So we can wait a little bit longer for that. And we'll see. Oh, wait. The video from the space station external high definition camera EHDC has been interrupted due to either loss of signal between the station and the communications network, or it is being used for station operational purposes. The EHDC is currently being used to provide a view of Earth following the end of life of the HDEV payload. I don't even know if this is like live. But we'll see. I mean, they should be flying over. It's like, hey guys, let's you guys are able to sing with people on Earth in real time without any delay. But could we start getting the video up and running? Because you guys are gonna be flying over Australia right now. Be nice to get some footage of the Australian fires from the International Space Station. And no notifications yet. Let's see. They must be asleep. It's like, you know, no one wants to see the fires. It's just too tragic. So we're just not going to. I don't know. You could think of so many excuses for them. Alright, so it's 9:11 now. We got 4 minutes. Where the International Space Station is flying over Australia. It's cloudy. I wonder. Oh, is that like thermal imaging? Are they flying over? Oh, come on. We don't want to see these guys. All right, there you go. Well, this is SpaceX. Well, will we see Australia fires from here from SpaceX? I don't think so. We're just gonna see clouds, clouds, pockets of no clouds, some land. Man, let's see. And it's not even like 1080 definition. I mean, they can. It's at 720p at 60. They could do this in 4K. I mean, they've got. You know what's like? It's like, wow, we spent multi-million, if not billions of dollars on this equipment, but we're gonna put on a webcam from 2008 onto it. You know, it can't do 1080p. It could do 720 at 60, but you know, it's the best we got. You know, we could only spend like $10 on a webcam, so people are just gonna have to see it from a $10 webcam. I'm sorry. They could probably also get a whole bunch of where is it? I mean, they could use any of these. I mean, hey, look, I'd say any of these cameras, that telephoto lens right there, at least $3,000, if not more. I mean, most of the body frames of these cameras, if they bought it within 2 years of the latest, you know, once they got released, it could be upwards of $7,000, if not $10,000. So all this camera equipment with the body frames and also the telephoto lens and just regular lenses and stuff like that, this is well over probably $40,000 to $50,000 worth of camera equipment. And you're saying they can't live stream with better camera equipment than 720p at 60 frames? And that's just what they're live streaming at. What they're actually like using for filming this is worse. You know, this is not 720p. This is not 720p. Yes, it's streaming at 720p, but what we're seeing here, that image quality is not 720p. Same here, 720p, you know. You know, maybe this is what they say. It's like, look, we need a couple more $1 million a day in operations so we can show people in live stream, you know, 1080p video or 4K video. Yeah. Oh, another thing, you know how we've got Christina Cook watching football here. So it's on a computer. It's definitely on Windows 10. The photo is nice and crisp, but you know, it's hard to tell with that. But let's see. Do you think they're receiving it at 360 or 480 or 720 or 1080, maybe 4K? I mean, I'd say, you know what? It'd be nice to show if they tell you. It's like, hey, we're watching 4K football up on the ISS. That's how great it is. I don't know. But yeah, so they passed. It's 9:15 now. 4 minutes have passed. They're no longer over Australia. And nothing on this one. Maybe this is 2 minutes ago. Yeah, nothing. I mean, you probably relook it. It's definitely not 1080p. It should be 4K, but it's not. And just hazy, cloudy over the ocean. No sign of Australia. So that's a no-go. And they probably passed Australia here, but yeah, it's still cloudy over bluish water. Oh, thermal imaging or something. And really nothing that you can make out here. That's it. All right, let's hope for some photographs or live stream or video. Let's see. Alt O. These fires had me so worried. I've scheduled a fire break controlled burn for my place. That's a good idea. A lot of people are thinking it could happen in the U.S. a lot more. It's what's happening in Australia is a testing ground of what they're going to try to do different countries, especially with the way that they are trying to sell water to international parties, etc., corporations, and all this other stuff. And it's just horrible. I mean, what I like about the Crow House is there, and what he watches. You know, it's some of it's mainstream, some of it's alternative media of coverage of, you know, the whole water situation in Australia. And I would love to have like Ryan Bannigan again. And I know there's a couple of Aussies that watch my streams, and just kind of have them give their take on it about the whole water situation in Australia. We've talked about it before, but yeah, so he kind of breaks it all down. And oh, I should probably show it. Yeah. So breaks it all down, and it's pretty sad, and it's a lot of it has to do with now. What Max Egan says is great. He says it's not the incompetence of the government and bureaucracy and the legislations they put forth in place. Because the Aborigines that lived there for thousands or so-called thousands of years in history never burnt like that, like it is today. You know, they were able to contain these big, huge wildfires. So are you saying that these people in charge are just that incompetent that they can't handle it? No. What he's saying is they're competent. They're just letting this happen, or they've orchestrated it to happen. They're purposefully doing this. But either way, if they're purposefully doing this or if they're just incompetently handling the situation, they should not be in office. They should not be in charge of anything. So regardless of people's excuse for those in charge, they're either incompetent or they're competently doing this on purpose. They're both bad. They're both bad. So I like to break things down as to are you agreeing with the establishment explanation of things or not, right? So whatever it is, whatever conspiracy theory that you have for it, are you going along with the official narrative that they're saying just every time, or just a select few times? And why select few times, not all the time? Or just this once, but all the others, yeah, I could say I don't agree with. But this one thing, I'll agree with the official narrative version. Okay, anyways, thank you for joining on to doing some work for Flat Earth People Finder. So thank you very much for joining me. And again, if you take precautions, my LBRY is a great idea. I should be thinking about it as well, except in Nebraska, there really ain't many trees. The only trees that there are along the watershed. So like the rivers and creeks, there'll be trees. But I feel like if there's gonna be fires, I mean, you've got water right there. The other part is the crops like the corn and whatnot, cornfields or whatever during the summer. And you know, it's only can be hot enough during the summer for those fires to keep going. As far as around my place, we don't really have many trees. People keep their lawns so nice and tidy with their Monsanto products. Yeah, they're not going to catch on fire very easily and spread. So for me, it's not a worry. If you live in the woods, on the other hand, like LBRY, that'd be a hard one to protect that place from fire. And I think what sucks is when you see videos of people trying to put out the fires near their homes in Australia, and that's tough to watch. Because if I was in the same situation, it's just a horror, really. Anyways, hopefully everyone out there is going to be okay. And to prevent things like this in the future, you have to prevent exactly what happened from occurring again. I mean, any situation, you've got to take those steps. And so if it's if there's parts to blame in the bureaucracy or all this other stuff, well, those have to be taken into account, and the people being held accountable. So anyways, thanks for joining. Probably see me, probably not tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, and I've been looking up a lot more stuff on the exegesis of Philip K. Dick. So more on that, but man, there's just so much reading to do. And I've been contemplating of taking ayahuasca, not the full thing, but just the vine itself, and seeing where that goes. So I don't know. It's just I'm kind of wondering of certain things. So I may have to take another trip back. But it's not going to be the same trip. So those trips are over. It's going to be a different type of trip, which I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. All right. Thank you for joining me. See you later.